What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back. Before you go anywhere, I really need your help. The reason why you need your help is because my channel has took a little bit of a change lately, in that I'm only posting a video once every month or two, or whenever I get round to finally finishing a video. This is because I edit and do everything on my phone, as a lot of you long form people will already know. And for me, it really does stunt what I can do. The growth of the channel, it stops me interacting with you more, and to be honest, following alongside the projects that I'm working on and alongside everything else that I would normally like to do with the people who do follow me or watch me or support me. And unfortunately, I'm not giving you guys back the, credit you deserve for doing so. These videos will be posted more regular, and I will be going through everything that's going to be changing today, and from here on in there'll be regular video updates on the channel. I did stunt myself a little bit, and I will explain that as well. But the reason I stopped a lot of the content was purely down to the fact that I just didn't have the time. Every single video I edited, I wanted to make sure it was as good as I could get it, or as good as I could edit physically on a phone. I'm not the best in the world at all, by all means, and there's probably a lot of people who say to me, there's millions of things you can do on a phone in regards to editing, but I haven't really studied it much, or I haven't really gone through any sort of courses or try to pursue that career. I've only just learned from when I started YouTube. But less of the talking, because I do want to explain everything that's gone on and the sort of reasons behind the delay in the channel. The things in this animal room though, they're finally getting moving, and that's what the update's about. But as always from me, peace and love, I'm out. Okay, so the first reason a lot of the content stopped was because of this tank. This tank took me about 3 or 4 weeks to make. In total hours, I don't know, days, I'd say, days and days and hours built up in total over the course of that month. And I had problems with the tank, so I still do have problems. There's more things sort of wrong with this tank than I believe is right, and unfortunately it's not the most positive news I want to be bringing you today. In future, I will be making sure I use these style of tanks, Exoterras, fish tanks. The wooden Vivs are fine. For example, Apollo down here, my bearded dragon, he is more than happy in this tank because it's a very dry environment. Although we have a small wet spot over here where we can water plants, he really wants to come out and he's being very needy, so I'll have to get him out soon and feed him. These wooden tanks are prone to leaking, just problems generally with the runners. So I had a problem with the glass runners and still have a problem. I had a problem with leaking. I spent, however long, a month, just physically trying to make this waterproof by putting coats of the liquid rubber on. But the reason it went wrong is because as soon as the tank got weight, humidity, heat, it started to shift the wooden panels out of these tiny little terrible screws they give you with these tanks, and ultimately it's created like a pinhole crack on the right side. It wasn't leaking like drip leaking, but it felt slightly wet with inside the wood. So what I had to do, or the only thing I could do, because everything was at this point sealed in despite me water testing it, obviously then I added weight and it shifted it somewhere. My mistake, and that's how we learn from these things. So I mean, it's at least I'm letting you guys know, if you watch the tropical build video, do your best to strengthen the wooden walls. So what I should have really done was added like 2x2s in each corner or something, added strength to it so it stopped this moving or sort of shifting around, because these glass panels now, when I added these to stop them escaping, they still can because there's gaps in there. There's another gap here. These have moved out slightly, which is really annoying, and that's because these panels aren't lining up to the runners. They don't actually meet with the runner there, you can see. It just doesn't meet with the runner. So what you see there in the glass is essentially stopping the right panel from tipping forwards. The left one's absolutely fine and fits in the runners, but the right one unfortunately doesn't. And because of that, that's why they don't fit in them perfectly. So the right one, I have to add this thing at the front, which prevents it from potentially tipping forwards and smashing. This somewhere is obviously dropped and shifted the glass. And then on the right side, I added the biggest amount of silicone here I could ever have dreamed of. And the reason I did this is just a delay tactic to stop it leaking, hold it in place, because I will be getting another tank which is going here, And this is just temporary, all of this mess right now. I wouldn't say mess, but this isn't exactly how I planned the room. And I'll explain that in a bit. Back to this one. So ultimately for me, I was devastated. I lost a lot of motivation because I spent so long creating something that I was really happy with. And you guys seem to be sort of really happy with it as well. And, you know, that's the main thing. You know, we learn from our mistakes. I've made mistakes in the past. But not a mistake is, I guess, easy to make, but so frustrating at the same time because it was a tank that took me so long. So I was just absolutely devastated. But everything in the tank is doing really, really well. And that's what's so frustrating because it's, you know, the tank and the build process, the mind behind it of how I built it, it's all going really, really well. So it kind of sucks. You can see the waterfall through there, can we? Yeah, see. So everything's going well. You know, the frogs are loving it, the lizards are loving it, everything else. And there's still inhabitants I want to add in here. So I'll break down what I'll be doing with this in a short period of time. Apollo, though, he is doing fantastic. I do like to sit down and just enjoy his company. I just need to give his water bowl a clean. It's been a couple of days since I cleaned that, to be honest. I should have cleaned it yesterday because I normally clean it every day, but I have left it a couple of days. I wasn't out here. I was doing more cleaning in this room. What I did, I came in here, fed him some food, gave him some handling time, and then did it that way. But everything's actually growing really well in here. The air plants at the back, the Tillandsia, are doing very well. The aloe vera's doing really well. This is kicking out new leaves now. And again, the aloe veras and the echeverias all around this area are popping. So it's really, really cool to see. You know, everything actually doing really well. He loves his home, and that's the most important thing. I haven't seen him try and bury or burrow at all yet. I don't know if that's just because he, I don't know, is young. I don't know what the ultimate reason why, but you know, I do have colonies of isopods in here, springtails, and crickets as well, to be honest. Now, I'll lift this and you should be able to see what I mean. So you can see things sort of scampering off there, but mainly under his water bowl. So I'll show you the other stuff. He's going to come out anyway when he realizes that this side's actually open because he's been on that side for a while. The plants, I've got a bit of an issue at the moment. These are all fine. The one over there, I actually ended up getting some mealy bugs on them. So I've bought some neem oil and I'm going to give them a spray outside because obviously there's ants in these tanks, ants in my pants. So there's ants in these tanks, so I need to get these the neem oil, get it, and I'll take all of them out. I'll go out there, put them all out there, spray them all down, all the leaves outside, and then I'll give them about 1 litre of neem oil water within the roots, because obviously they do have like maggots and they'll deeply root within there. This is always just a grow out tank. These tubs have, or normally had, loads of plants in them that I keep alive, and then new projects I'll take them out as and when. However, I've ran low on plants. I've got no plants in these apart from the spider plant, and this was an aloe vera plant, and obviously it's just spiky, so I didn't put that in Apollo's home because it was too spiky and I was worried about him getting caught on it or whatever. I was more worried. So this is my Chromatogastus scutularis. This was semi-arid, and these are my Camponotus maculatus. I need to put all of this down, add some new plants, and just completely change it slightly. You can see the water level is slightly low. So the room's just due a big maintenance overhaul. I've been working a lot, so I do need to clean all of the tanks. Now, this one, the tropical island, again, the water level has dropped ever so slightly. I need to change clean the filter and clean the glass and get this all looking nice and tidy. The ants, however, are doing awesome. And to be honest, the ants are actually thriving in here. They obviously have a late. The colony itself is huge now. So whenever I feed them, they come out and bring the numbers. The only issue I have with this tank is when you look, you can see every now and then the plants will protrude over onto the glass, and you know, it becomes a little bit of a twitchy moment because they do so. And then when we go over to this tank here, this is my poison dart frog setup. I still absolutely love this tank, to be honest. I added a few of those random tropical seeds in here as well, just because I was curious to see how they grew. The dart frogs are doing great. The Ficus pumila did just take over. I was gutted because the philodendrons were always doing really well, and then they started to suffer. These were philodendron mecans. You can see there the leaves are falling off. Massagravia. They're doing okay. I just need more light in here. I need one additional light on the top because I've got a couple on there at the moment, but the way I made the lid, a lot of you were asking me about this. It's just corrugated plastic I cut to size so they couldn't escape, or nothing could ever escape. And it does hold a lot of humidity, but it also blocks out a lot of light. So I need to add another light on the top there so I can start growing things around this foreground area, because when you look in the top canopy, see all of that growth, but as the light sort of dwindles away here and over here, and especially down in the foreground, it's kind of a no-grow zone, we'll call it. So that's really annoying. I will be changing that slightly, and you know, I just wanted to show you all of the sides of keeping these tanks. I need to wipe that glass down too. The other one is my Mourning Gecko and Vampire Crab tank. Honestly, this one is also very overgrown, as you'll probably guess. I wish on this side, I wish I only had this asparagus fern. Oh, sorry, my bad. I wish I only had this asparagus fern. And the reason being is it just looks so pretty along here. These ones with the red leaves, I really like it. Maybe these in the foreground, growing a little bit lower and maintaining them at a lower height. You know, the canopy, I wish I had more philodendron going along this area, but it is going really well. It is due a massive cut down, and that water area is also due a big clean up, a scrub, some of them floating plants taken out. You know, we've got some begonias that have fallen down into these sections. So this here, you can see it's actually growing in the water, which is nuts. So I'll just leave it be. The mosses are still growing though. Now this tank has got the good lights, so I just need to buy another light for this side as well. But this one's going really well. Like I say, every single tank in here, due to time working so much, just needs a good amount of TLC. So I am planning over Christmas time to do a huge haul of everything and show you me maintaining and keeping everything tip top. That's because a lot of you have always asked me like my maintenance routine, how much work it takes, how often I would clean the tanks, how often I spray it down, how often I feed them, everything. Every single detail you are wanting to know. So I'll make sure I do that for you. I also have this tub, which is like a temporary propagation tub. So at the moment, I actually got this off my father. He used to propagate plants in here, some of his herbs for the summer ready. He'd grow them indoors ready and then get them outside when they're a little bit hardier. But you can see I've just put one cup in there with some Polynesian ivy. But it's a good amount of space to actually physically keep and grow things in there. And all I do to control that is use different size lids or containers to prop this lid up. Has a really nice thing. And then we've also got fans in the top, or computer fans, which circulate the air if I need to do so. But this is a really, really cool sort of grow out tub. The rocks here, if you're wondering, I'll move them to the side there, botanicals. I've got sand, and then I've got smaller rocks and bigger rocks. This is all for the gravel layer or bottom layer for the finer details or detailing of that. And again, I'll be running through why I use 3 different levels or 3 different gradients, to create those perception of depth, the scale ratio, everything like that on when I'm building these tanks. And a lot of you do say, as much as I disbelieve myself, a lot of you do say I need to start showing you in more detail what I do and why. But this is going to be the next tank. I'll be starting this probably tomorrow. I've just got a bunch of expanding foam which has just arrived. I've got it behind this humidifier. I've got a bunch of that expanding foam, the pet safe stuff, and I need to, in the meantime, put some of the neem oil in here, give those plants a massive spray down outside, get them used to that, and then get those mealy bugs off. And then I also need to drain the roots and wash the roots down. I'm going to get my throw, put it on the floor, everything, bring my materials from outside to in here and start cutting the base layer or the infrastructure for this tank. The idea or concept I'm going to have, I can't do that with one hand, but the concept is to have a flow from the middle. Now, I haven't actually done a box from the middle yet, so I thought I'll switch it up. I want to do something where it has stages of falling down into something, but then it means I will block it out. So my idea might be to actually just have a middle section where it comes up and it's just a pool around the middle. And then the middle can be like a tree coming up with a sort of avatar vibe where it's a big tree and things can live within the tree, and then you've got a pool around it, kind of like an oasis where you've got like a tree, water around it, crystal clear waters or brownier waters. I'm not decided yet. And then like this tree, I don't know, that's my idea, but I know I'll definitely be doing it from the middle section. And to be honest, I kind of just do it as I go. That's about it for now. So I will be making sure I keep up with these updates where essentially I'll be going, right, well, this is what's going on the channel, this is what's going to be happening next. I'll also then be making sure I do a video more regular, maybe as every week, like, you know, normal YouTubers or people who post all the time. So I'll be making sure I do a video every week, just a small update like this, what's going on, how far along my projects are going. And then again, I'll be going through a little bit of detail on that, not very much. But then the long form videos, what I'll do, every, say, month or two on new projects, I'll be doing a massive edited, super long video where I'll be showing exactly how I built the setup, exactly every finer detail of that build, the typical videos I normally do where I'll release one every month or two. So like a super edited video once every 1 or 2 months, and then these style of videos every week or so, because it's a lot easier for me to edit and just put the clips together and explain what's happening while I'm doing it, as opposed to just sort of getting all the 3 to 5 second clips going, this is what happens next and this is this, like super edited. Because for me, I don't have the time. I work full time as well, obviously having a family and, you know, things like that. So for me, this is my hobby, and I don't want to take away from my hobby. You know, I don't want to make this into like an editing thing, a full-time editing thing, when I don't have the time to do so. I'm sorry, mate, I know I was spinning around there. That's all really. I just wanted to make you aware that's what will be happening with the channel. So all of you who do support me, you have no idea how crazy this journey's been leading to this moment as well. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you haven't yet liked my channel or subscribed to the channel, like the video and subscribe to the channel, then, you know, now is, I guess, is the time if you want to see more updates. But in future, I'll be making sure that I don't use wooden fibs. Oh, the last thing I forgot to mention. Oh, let me quickly go back, one sec. Okay, so obviously I need to give the floor over, get off my back. So what I need to do, and this is why I needed to update you about this area, is because this area will be actually coming out of the animal room or getting slid to the center. So I still have I think it was about 70 centimeters either side if I move that to the center and have like a walkway either side. And then I still get to have this big 7-foot cabinet over there. Now what the plan is, I'm getting a handmade 6-foot by 6-foot by 2-foot custom Viv made, which is going to be, obviously when you look at the size of that, that's a 4x2x4. It's going to be a 6x2x6. So it's going to be the height of up to there, up here. And at the same time, it's going to be as deep as this and as long. So yeah, super excited about that. So I've got it in the works at the moment. I'm getting that currently made. It will take a month or two, they said. And that plan is absolutely crazy for what I've got for it. So I am really, really excited. Although that's in the works, the materials for something that size will take me quite a while to save for. But that's absolutely fine, you know. That's the whole point of this, so I can plan for projects and, you know, you guys can follow me on the journey, which is the point of the video today. So I just want to make you aware, he's just been a little bit fussy trying to get down now, so I'll get him down. So yeah, I hope you like the update. Like I say, I've got some plans with these gorgeous snakes I've acquired. And, oh, there we go, gorgeous. You can have a little mooch. I do want to make some changes, you know. And then once I've got this, I'm going to push it right up against here. It'll give me about another little bit of space here, probably about 60 centimeters to add another small sort of like corner area. Similar to this, but I'll be storing some more stuff. And then the middle bit here will be a smaller rack just to cover it, and then a rack right down the middle. So I think I'll probably have like a walkway all the way around, or I might block it off for more room and just have it so you have to do a U all the way around the room. I feel like either or is pretty good. I don't know yet. My plan was always to have a tank I could walk into and sit inside and enjoy within the ecosystem. But then I realised that I couldn't do such a thing because I also want to keep certain ant species and other things inside the tank, which, to be honest, I don't fancy sitting in somewhere trying to enjoy nature while getting stung by super potent ants all the time. So we'll see. Which then leads me now back to this section again. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you have liked the update, I hope I've gone through everything, and I know it's going to be quite long compared to what you're used to. I would ordinarily put a load of music, different edits, 3 to 5 second clips in the background, all this sort of stuff. But I know a lot of you initially followed me from this style of video. And for me, I just want to be engaged with the people who follow me. I want to sort of get feedback from you. What tanks do you want to see? One of the big voted tanks, or the massive ones, was a mangrove ecosystem, which will be in this tank here. You can just see a little bit of it there. So that'll be that build. But again, I'm having to save for every single thing I do. So, but either way, I appreciate you. I love you all to pieces. Thank you so much. And as always from me, peace and love. I'm out.